Okay, so today we're going deep on this idea of self-confidence,
Okay.
but not the way you usually think about it.
All right.
It's like, not the whole, like,
Mm.
go get 'em kind of
Yeah.
self-confidence, but instead, it's all about self-compassion.
How interesting.
So we've got these notes
Mm.
that are titled Self-Confidence Through Self-Compassion.
Okay.
And honestly, it seems a little weird, right?
Yeah, kind of counterintuitive. Like it's
Ah,
almost the opposite of what, you'd think,
totally.
to get self-confidence, you got to be like pushing yourself all the time,
Yeah.
like a cheap. But
Exactly.
this is saying maybe we should just be nicer to ourselves.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just be like, hey, it's okay if you have flaws. It's okay if you have setbacks.
Like,
It's all part of it.
so then how does being kind to myself
Yeah.
make me more confident?
So it's like this. Imagine you screw up, right?
Okay.
You miss a deadline,
Uh-huh.
project goes wrong, whatever. So instead of like beating yourself up,
Right.
you just say to yourself like, okay, well, everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
It happens. So you're not letting that inner critic
Right.
just totally take over.
Gotcha.
Right.
But so then where does the confidence come from?
So that's where these other parts of self-compassion come in mindfulness and come in humanity.
Okay.
So mindfulness is like, you can observe your thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't have to judge them.
Okay.
So you notice that you're being really hard on yourself,
Yeah.
but you don't have to like believe it.
Okay.
And then common humanity is like remembering that everybody struggles.
Right.
So it's not just you.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
part of being human.
So I'm not like alone in my failures.
Right. You're not alone.
Okay, cool.
And so when you can make that shift, from self-criticism to self-acceptance,
Mm-hmm.
that reduces your fear of failure.
Okay.
Because you're not so worried about, messing up. How many times have you not done something because you were afraid of not being good enough?
Oh my gosh. All the time.
Right. Like it happens to all of us.
I know. Yeah, like I remember one time I got invited to do some public speaking thing, and I was so afraid that I would like mess it up
Yeah.
or people would judge me that I just like totally chickened out.
That's that fear. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
And it can stop you from doing so many things.
Right.
But when you practice self-compassion, you start to see those setbacks differently.
Oh.
It's not like a personal failure. It's like, oh, this is an opportunity to learn.
Okay.
I can grow from this. And then you're not so afraid to take risks.
So if I'm not constantly scared of messing up,
Mm.
then I'm more likely to try things.
Exactly. You're more willing to
Yeah.
step outside of your comfort zone and
Definitely.
experiment. And that's where the confidence comes from.
So it's like the doing.
Yeah. The more you do it, the more you realize, I can handle this, even if it doesn't go perfectly.
It's funny because I always thought self-compassion was like being soft.
Right.
But it's actually like
Yeah.
it can push you to be braver.
It's like, it's not about lowering your standards. It's about being supportive of yourself
Yeah.
so that you can take those risks
Right.
and grow.
Without judging yourself.
Exactly. So it's like instead of beating yourself up
Mhm.
for not being perfect,
Yeah.
you can actually use those moments to get better,
yeah.
to learn. And I think that's the real power
Oh, yeah.
of self-compassion. It's like we're not ignoring our flaws.
Uh-huh.
We're accepting them.
Yeah.
They're part of what makes us human. And in that acceptance,
Yeah.
we find freedom,
I like that.
We find freedom to be ourselves,
Yeah.
to try new things, and to become more confident.
That's making me rethink a lot of things. It's like a total mindset shift.
It is.
So if somebody's listening to this
Mhm.
and they're like, all right, I want to try this.
Yeah.
Where should they start?
I think a good place to start is to just notice your self-talk.
Okay.
So, like, when you make a mistake,
Uh-huh.
what do you say to yourself? Would you talk to a friend that way?
That's a good point.
Right. If not,
Yeah.
try to offer yourself that same kindness, that same
Yeah.
understanding. You could even do some exercises.
Like what?
Like you could write a letter to yourself,
Oh, wow.
but like a self-compassionate letter.
Okay.
Or you could try mindfulness meditation.
So it's like I'm actually equipping myself
Yeah.
to like handle challenges.
Exactly.
But-
It's not just about feeling better. It's about being able to deal with
Oh,
whatever
fun.
comes your way.
Wow, this has been a really eye-opening deep dive. It's like instead of trying to be perfect,
Yeah,
we can just embrace our imperfections.
Yeah.
And be kind to ourselves.
exactly. It's so powerful.
Yeah, and sometimes the best way to move forward
Mm-hmm.
is to be a little gentler with ourselves.
I love that. What would it look like for you to approach your goals this week with a little more self-compassion? What would change?
That's a great question for everybody to think about
Yeah.
as we wrap up this deep dive.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.